In his own words tonight, Apple CEO Tim Cook dangling deals for new phones and the hugely anticipated TV streaming service as it seeks to offset slumping device sales. We look at what Apple unveiled today at its big product event in Cupertino, California in tonight's Spotlight. And joining us tonight is a digital business executive and managing director at Strat Americas, Seth Schachner. Thank you so much for joining us, Seth. Appreciate your time. Every year, technophiles like yours truly get very excited about these big reveals. Consumers, they want to know, are these new iPhones actually worth the upgrade? Are they an evolution or revolution?
I mean, look, the newest generation of the iPhone, the 11, is more of an evolution for sure. I mean, this space right now, the smartphone space, there are some that say in terms of the competitive features that are out there, it may have plateaued a few years ago, actually around the launch of the X, and that, some are even saying that Apple's playing a little bit of catch up here on it. So it is probably an evolution when you really think about it, but there are, I think, 1.4 billion iOS-enabled devices out there. There's an incredibly robust, app community that has been built around that ecosystem. There's certainly brand loyal customers, and it is probably hard for some people to contemplate leaving. So it's still a pretty powerful proposition when a new one comes out. But yeah, in my view, it's probably more of an evolution than a revolution.
All right, so there's a lot that's being said about the cameras on these new iPhone 11s and the 11 Pro. Is that the biggest advance and difference, in your opinion, over the XS?
Yeah, I think that's fair. There's some slow motion selfies. There's some cool, editing capabilities, on photos, broader photographic capabilities. If you're a gamer, I think there's some super cool stuff in it. There's spatial 3D audio for some of the gamers. So, there's three, lenses that are on the rear of the phone and, new colors, basically. So, evolution for sure, not revolution.
How about the price points, though? Because consumers, they've grown to expect companies, whether it's Apple or Samsung, what have you, just to keep jacking up the prices with every new iteration. What about this time?
It's a little bit cheaper on some of the models this time. I mean, I don't actually think that's the core of what's exciting here. I think, for sure this is more about Apple becoming more of a services vehicle and rolling out these TV services, gaming services, news as well. So I mean, these are unquestionably premium price phones or handsets, but I don't know if that's really the core of the exciting developments today.
How big are these new services that you just mentioned, like Apple TV Plus and Apple Arcade? How big are these in the grand scheme of things for Apple?
Well, they're big in a strategic point of view, the strategic potential and what they're trying to do in terms of converting themselves to more of a services company, I think is actually really huge and really important. They're very, very ambitious. They're not big yet in terms of, the overall size of the company and perspective. And they're certainly smaller than some of these services like Netflix, if you will, or some of the other, subscription services that are out there. But, 5-10 years out, I look back, my background's in digital music, and this is the company that really helped build the business, the fundamental building blocks after years of struggle. They've got a great track record in building some of those services businesses, and they're going to bundle the new TV service with sales of devices at a reasonably low price of $5, and I think the gaming service is $5 as well. And those subsidies are unquestionably going to drive users and some growth. So I think it's a very high potent thing to watch, basically.
All right, Seth Schachner, we have to leave it right there. Appreciate it.